Binge the full week ad-free over at patreon.com/inspired disorder.
What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.
This is my top 5 movies of 1999. Back in 99, I had just graduated high school. I had gotten my first job working at a movie theater. And it was also a year where just a ton of great movies came out. There's probably tons of lists out on the internet of top movies of 99, but this is my current, looking back today, maybe not the movies in the moment of 99 while I was living it, while I was in it, while I was experiencing it. This may not have been my list, but this is my list looking back on the movies that came out in 1999 that were my favorite. Starting off with number 5, Detroit Rock City, a movie that I didn't even realize came out in 99, a comedy about a group of friends who are in a band who want to go see a Kiss concert in Detroit. This is back in like the 70s or whatever, whenever there were protests against Kiss, thinking they were the Knight of Satan's service or whatever the religious reasoning for being anti-rock and roll or whatever, the crazy times. But it's a movie of these 4 friends going to try and get into the concert. They lose their tickets, so it's kind of a free-for-all, and you're seeing their different adventures going on. Just a fun comedy, a great movie. I enjoy it so much. I've watched it so many times. The poster for Detroit Rock City is amazing. It's an illustrated poster with the 4 guys running from all the different people that they encounter on their adventure to try and go watch Kiss. Just a really fun movie that I really enjoy. I'm not even a Kiss fan necessarily, but it's a movie that I've watched a billion times, and it's so much fun. So it's number 5, Detroit Rock City. Number 4 is the first time I saw a movie written by this guy that has written a lot of crazy movies. But this one was my introduction, and that movie, coming in at number 4, is Being John Malkovich. That is a crazy independent film that just is a movie that, like, to even think of the premise of this movie, like a puppeteer gets a job working on the 13 and a half floor or whatever it was, and he finds a door that ends up being a portal into the brain of John Malkovich. Just a crazy premise. Crazy premise. What is the name of that director, by the way, that or the screenwriter for this? Is he's done a lot of he's starting to direct his stuff also, but Charlie Kaufman who wrote like Adaptation, which is a crazy film, Schenectady, New York, I'm Thinking of Ending Things, just a lot of great Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, just one of the most like creative and like surreal screenwriters. And Being John Malkovich, just a crazy movie. Like you have a puppeteer going into John Malkovich and then making John Malkovich become a puppeteer while John Malkovich is basically a puppet. It's great. There's a lot of Kaufman does a lot of like layering to his movies, a lot of just interesting stuff, amazing things, and this was just a crazy movie, and just one of my favorites. One of my favorite, by far my favorite screenwriter, Charlie Kaufman, but also just a crazy great movie. Being John Malkovich, coming in at number 4. Number 3 is another comedy. This one is one that's quoted so many times. Just a hilarious film about a guy who's just unhappy at his job. And that movie, coming in at number 3, is Office Space. This is one of the most classic films about a guy who gets hypnotized and realizes that he hates his job, realizes that you can really get away with not caring too much about your job and still being successful. It's one of the first kind of movies that kind of that cubicle style of movies and TV shows, comedies that came out of it. um, but yeah, just a movie about f- doing what you want, not working for job for a company that doesn't give a shit about you. Just kind of that fairy tale that everybody who works a day job that hates, goes through. So many amazing lines. O face, Flair. Um, the scenes where they're trying to figure out how to launder money because they try to Michael Bolton, Dinesh, and the main character are all trying to steal money. It's all like leading up to the Y2K, which Y2K for 1999 is kind of crazy that that was ever a thing. But yeah, Office Space not only taking place during that specific moment in time of 1999 pre Y2K. Like just amazing the scene where they all go beat up the printer, the scene where he's singing rap music while stuck in traffic and then a black dude walks by his car and he gets all quiet. Just so many amazing parts of this movie. It's I mean, a no-brainer, easy. I'm happy it's on my list, easily settled at number three, Office Space. Number two, the number two movie that I feel that, part of 1999, one of those movies that was my favorite, is my favorite movie forever. Although looking back, I had to change it a little bit just because I'm a little bit more grown up. But it's a movie I've rewatched a million times. It's a movie uh, that inspired me to read a bunch of novels that were written by the guy that this movie was based on. And that movie I am talking about, coming in at number two, is Fight Club. Fight Club is amazing. I could never read the book Fight Club because I had watched the movie so many times, and the movie and the book are not necessarily told in the same order. And there's events that happen in the book that don't happen in the movie, and vice versa. Great director as well for Fight Club. Uh, Chuck Palahniuk obviously is the author of the book it was based on. Um, but yeah, you have Edward Norton, you have Brad Pitt. Just one of those movies. I mean, I was 19 in 99. Fight Club is really kind of a movie that's changed in a lot in ways over the years, but it's one of those movies that really spoke to me as a 20-year-old kid. In kind of a bad way. I mean, this movie celebrates toxic masculinity in a lot of ways, but it also shows how horrible that is. It also, I mean, the movie doesn't end well for these characters. But as a guy that was raised by a single mom, didn't have a dad growing up, in my early 20s, I really was the only time in my life where I really wish I had a dad. Where it was like I was trying to figure out what kind of a man I was, and who I was going to be. And Fight Club, along with just, kind of recontextualizing society and the things that the consumerism that surrounds us and that we're like slaves to. So many different things about this movie. The twist is great. The music is great. I mean, the soundtrack, I think it was the Dust Brothers, are great. You also have David Fincher, one of the greatest directors to ever make a film. But yeah, Fight Club, number two, easy to go. Would have been number one, but I had to switch it up because the movie coming in at number one, my number one movie of 1999, was a movie that blew my mind away when I saw it in theaters. I didn't know what it was about. I just knew it looked cool. And it had Keanu Reeves in it, and I'm a fan of Keanu Reeves. And I go in, and it's this action sci-fi movie, and that movie is The Matrix. Number one film for me. I mean, it changed action films in so many ways. It was the live action anime action film that nobody knew they wanted. It is by far the best of the franchise. The Matrix 4 is supposed to be coming out this year, which I'm looking forward to. Keanu Reeves has had an amazing career going from The Matrix to now John Wick. And even not even the action movies for Keanu Reeves, but also Bill and Ted. Like, to think that a Bill and Ted sequel would be good and it actually being fun. It's just Keanu Reeves has had just an amazing career, and The Matrix blew my mind away. It's a movie that the sound people would use this movie to show off their sound systems, their surround sound systems. It was the movie I remember selling. I did a lot of selling a lot of bootleg movies and music and stuff like that in the early 2000s, late 90s. The Matrix, I remember selling while it was still in theaters. A buddy of mine would get all these files, and then I would sell them. And we got while it was still in theaters, got the Matrix on like VCD, where you could like watch the movie on like it was like 4 different CDs it would take to watch the movie. Not very good quality, but the movie was so amazing. Everybody changed their screen names to Neo. Everybody had the kind of code, the Matrix code screensavers and backgrounds. I mean, it was a movie that just took the world by storm. Just amazing sci-fi film. The Matrix blew me away. Still holds up, I would say. Maybe not I don't mind the sequels. I enjoy the sequels, and I'm looking forward to the 4th one. But yeah, The Matrix. It's just one of those movies that I had no idea going into. Imagine that. Imagine a time where you go into a movie, all you know is you're watching this new action movie that everybody loves. I hadn't even seen a trailer yet, and you sit down, and it's like a time where movies like that didn't exist. Action movies weren't like that. They didn't have like the stop motion, crazy slow motion stuff that gunplay and martial arts and computer simulations. Uh, just crazy. It's just crazy. So yeah, number one, The Matrix. Let me go over my list for my top 5 movies of 1999. Number 5, Detroit Rock City. Number 4, Being John Malkovich. Number 3, Office Space. Number 2, Fight Club. And number 1, The Matrix. Obviously, there's some honorable mentions like The Sixth Sense, The Green Mile, American Beauty. Just a lot of amazing films came out in '99, and but this is my top 5. Let me know what your top 5 movies of 1999 were in the comments or on social media. Hit me up. Let me know if I'm wrong. Let me know if I'm right. Make sure you support our sponsor, Station House Coffee. Give them a follow on Instagram and go to the website, stationhousecoffee.com. Order yourself some amazing small batch, single origin, premium coffee brewed in Thetford Center, Vermont, shipped directly to you. Let them know the Ray Taylor Show sent you. Follow Station House Coffee on Instagram and go to stationhousecoffee.com and order your coffee today. New episodes of the Ray Taylor Show come out every single day. Subscribe on IGTV, YouTube, and everywhere else podcasts are found. Binge the full week ad free over at patreon.com/inspired disorder. Buy Ray Taylor Show merch over at inspireddisorder.com and follow the show on Instagram at Ray Taylor Show. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Peace out.